Hello. Good evening. I'm here. Hi, Irish. Thanks for hanging out. Oh gosh. Getting the microphone situated. I had it in a place where I wanted it, but there we go. What message where? I just saw the hello. I saw the wavy hello, hi. That's all I saw. It's late. We're painting. I was going to stream this morning, but I waited on a call for a job that didn't pan out. So we're going to paint. Our work continues on the Gobbos. Those are her feet. Let's fix that error. Tell if those are her toes or not. But you know what? Doesn't matter. I hope everybody's having a good evening. Irish, thank you for the sub with Prime. Appreciate you. Tonight's just going to be kind of a chill night, I think. Yeah. I understand. It. And also that way you don't get any ads. So it's two birds with one stone. Right? Like I said, this is just going to be a chilled out sort of painting stream. It's late, you know? Just hanging out. Slapping some paint on some plastic. And if my voice puts you to sleep, that's a bonus for you. That's good. Glad you like the chill vibes. We are aiming for tonight. I do not mind being second monitor content. I will live on that second monitor happily. My goal is to finish the boots and gloves of the rest of the goblins tonight. should be doable. Once we get those base coats down, we can work on something else. But I think once we get those base coats down, we'll work on the primary color of the other ones. Let's move the camera over a little bit because I keep moving it behind my webcam for some reason. That's just where my hands naturally rest, I think. Things about painting these goblins is all their details are very small, which you expect. All right. That's one of the lady stabbies done. 3 more to go. So for these, we're just doing we're doing the pants and the boots and the wristbands. This one might be just a little touch more difficult because we don't have her like dress thing painted, because this one's going to be one of the ones that's like a different color. Boots and pants and boots and pants. Wristband. Even out the pants and the boots now. We should be good to go on this one. Alrighty. Just messing with the focus. Alright. That's Stabby Lady 2. Done and dusted. Now it's time for Stabby Lady 3. Once I get through the Stabby Ladies, I'll consider it an accomplishment because that means all the base set goblins have their boots and pants and gloves. Boots and pants, gloves, gloves, boots and pants, gloves, gloves, boots and pants, gloves, gloves. know why I decided on this color for the boots and pants. I just wanted a different brown, I guess. I needed hydration. I don't know why I feel like it's out of focus. Trying to hold it where you can see what I'm doing. Sometimes it's not possible. Pants one more time. And I believe that is Stabby Lady number 3. Done and dusted. Now we move on to Stabby Lady 4. Last of the Corset Goblins. We just have the ranged goblins, the wild one, and the shaman. Or a witch, whichever you prefer to call it. I don't really know what she's supposed to be. She's definitely a goblin spellcaster. The last one that we do. After we do the boots and the pants, we'll move on. We'll do the base coat for the core colors on the non-brown goblins. That will be all non-metallic base coats done. We can start layering. This is the batch painting process, you see. You have my microphone came unplugged because sometimes it doesn't liking. Doesn't liking? That's not a word that people use. Do I ever use a little fan or blow dryer to speed up the drying process? No, not with these paints. Acrylic paints dry pretty quickly. Usually by the time I'm done painting one part and I move on to the next, the first coat's already dried. My little hobby room or my office isn't that humid, so the paint dries pretty quickly. Sometimes you don't want it to dry quickly, especially if you're doing like wet blends and things like that. But I don't know, I haven't really had a problem with it, but I haven't really tried too much of the wet blending. I did a little bit on that wolf that I painted. Mind me, I'm just dropping stuff. Yeah, it's pretty nice that it dries quickly, just because that lets me move on to things faster. If I was working with oils or something, which some people do use oils in their painting their miniatures, it makes for a really easy shade or a wash. And I don't do that because honestly, oils kind of scare me just a little bit. But yeah. If I was working with oils, I might want it to be a little more humid in here, or I might use something to dry, or a little less humid in here, and I'd use something to dry the oils off quicker. Right, I believe that is that coat done. So that's all the base set goblins. That means we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more to go. Alright, time for ranged goblin number 1. Actually, I forgot that I need to do the handles for all the goblins too. Yeah, not too long between coats. So there's a little bit of fur. Underneath the shoulder pad here. Already tell that these guys' belts are going to be a pain. They've got so many little dangly things on them. Paint that knee pad metal later, but that is future me to decide. Alec! Hi. It's good to know that you're here in spirit. Okay. See if I need to reapply some of these coats. I do need to reapply some of them because just a little bit too much black showing through. Alrighty. Believe that's Boomer Boy done. Or at least Boomer Boy 1 done. Time for Boomer Boy 2. Some of these details are really hard to see. Some of them are hard to figure out what they are. You just kind of have to make a judgment call at some point. But the good thing about paint is Ever you're painting something and you think, oh no, I think this should be this. Always paint over it. Some colors are better than that, better for that than others. But in the end, you can paint over pretty much anything, unless you want to paint something yellow. If you want to paint something yellow, then you might have to strip your paints. Unless you're painting it brown. You can paint yellow over brown pretty easily. A lot of times, I know people who paint a lot of yellow will actually suggest undercoating in brown, just because the yellow goes on top of that a little bit easier. Like a dark brown, not like a light brown like this, but a dark brown. Yellow will go over a little easier. I didn't paint this guy's knee, so he's going to be wearing pants. He'll be the only one to wear pants. Or tights, as it were. Very nearly done with Boomer Boy 2. nicely. These guys have boomerangs, so my apologies to Australia for my horrible Australian accent. Last of the boomer boys. I will be so happy once I'm done with all these goblins because they are the biggest group of enemy monsters that I have to finish. Second most that I have left are the skeletons. Skeletons, mummies, zombies. Chaos Warriors. They're not called Chaos Warriors anymore. They're called Dread Warriors, a new hero quest. I have the Dread Sorcerers. And I have the abominations left to finish painting for the monsters and stuff. Then I have a bunch of mercenaries primed and ready to paint. But they're not really necessary. They're kind of a bonus. Just because I think they're cool. But all the heroes are done. All the hero animal companions are done. In order to play with painted miniatures, all you gotta do is finish these enemy monsters. The base game. Of course, I have a bunch of furniture to paint too, but that's not even primed yet, so I'm not gonna worry about that too much. I'd rather paint all of the miniatures first, and then paint the furniture. Alright. That is the third and final Boomer Boy done. I could do something real quick on my phone, so bear with me. did the thing. Ah. Alright, now the wild ones. Turning my desk fan because I'm getting a little toasty in here. Now this is going to be interesting because I kind of want their whole like back like fur thing to be this like sort of light brown color, so I'm going to do that first. I'm going to use a bigger brush so I can get some more paint on it. I don't typically change brushes when I paint that much, but when you have something that's a big surface area like this, having a bigger brush really helps. Just gonna do the headdress right just this minute. Well, I've got the big brush out. I'll go ahead and do the headdress on this one as well. being very quiet. I apologize. It's mostly just because I'm focusing. I want to not fuck up. Alright, I think it's good with the bigger brush. Finish the first one with my normal brush. Thank you, Irish. I will. I do want to be entertaining, though. That's why folks come. That's why they come to the channel, to be entertained, right? Are you not entertained? I think we're gonna do I guess the boots, and it looks like there's some like banding underneath the claws here. We can do that in this light brown. Okay. Looks like that is one. Yep. It's one of the wild ones. It's time for wild one number 2. There we go. One leg. Hey Irish, are you still hanging out in the chat? Ah, gotcha. Excellent. I was just gonna say that I am almost finished decorating my Final Fantasy 14 house. When it is done, I will let you know, and I'll invite you over. You can come see it. Mildly obsessed with decorating it in the recent days, just because I was like, it's been practically empty long enough. So. Have I done any of the new patch stuff, like the 5 point or the 3.1 or 3.5 stuff? I have not. I've been super lax on my Final Fantasy 14. I mean, I've done all the MSQ stuff, but I still need to finish my first relic weapon stuff. So I've been kind of working on that at the same time. I was a little disappointed with Occult Crescent. That kind of took my wind out of the sails for the game for a little bit. I was really looking forward to it, and I was really hoping it was going to be good. Rob Champ, thank you for the follow. Yeah, I've been leveling my jobs too. I've almost got all the Disciple of War jobs. It's level 100. I've just got to finish just got to finish Dancer. Then I just got to do my healers and I'll be maxed out on everything. But yeah, just disappointed with the Cult Crescent, and just didn't really feel like playing for a little bit, so I took a break. But I'm kind of back now, so I'm working on that first Demi-Atma step, and oh boy, does it take forever. Hey Rob, welcome on in. We're painting goblins from Hero Quest. And we're just hanging out and we're talking. I'm talking about Final Fantasy XIV at the moment. Yeah, I leveled Scholar up to 100 because I really like healing on Scholar, but that's about the only job I like healing on. Sage is okay, but I don't know. Just one of those things. Healing has never been my favorite thing to do in MMOs in general, but eh. Alright, that's both of the wild goblins done. I have a plan. I wonder if I should go ahead and do it so it'll dry. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. I'm gonna add a wash to this like main thing, the pelt, because I want it to be a slightly warmer tone than the rest of the light brown on them. So I'm gonna add a little bit of Seraphim Sepia to warm it up. But I won't add a wash to the rest of the brown. But this is mostly just going to be just to add the color on top. Could have mixed this with the brown on my palette and painted with this color, but obviously this is easier. Yeah, Dark Knight has been the tank that I've been playing the most. recently. I don't know what it is. I think it's just a little bit different from the other tanks. Where it feels like you have to do more. Because, I mean, Warrior is just easy mode. And Paladin is fine. There's just not as much to manage with Dark Knight. Or with Paladin as there is with Dark Knight. Because Paladin still has a lot of self-healing. Dark Knight really doesn't have that much self-healing. It's mostly shield mitigation. And Gunbreaker is a DPS job disguised as a tank. A little bit of brown that I didn't get on that. The very tip of the pelt here. That's a failure. Wait just a minute, let that dry. Yeah. I don't know what it is about Dark Knight. Just been enjoying it. I've been enjoying it as well. I am annoyed that the only real like meta is Darkest Night. You're just trying to pop that whenever you can to mitigate damage, but I think that you know, it could be a little bit more to it, but that's about it. It's like, you know, just making sure Blackest Night is up and maintain your basic rotation other than that. And eventually you get your other abilities like Esteem, which is fun. You summon your shadow person, all that other good stuff. It's a fun job. I think that is all of the Seraphim Sepia I want to use. Mostly this is about getting that tone, that warmer tone on that brown. Alright, now we go back to doing the light brown. We've got 3 more ranged Gobbos, and then we've got Monk, Ninja, Black Mage, Blue Mage, 1 more. That's good. Do you have, I think of one other people want to play. Did you level Viper up to max? That was a new one, so I don't know if you've gotten to that one yet. Okay, so you got Viper. Bard? Have you done Bard? All your range. Okay. Dancer, Bard, Machinist. Yeah, those are the only three range DPS jobs. So let's see. Let's just go through all the jobs. Why don't we? We already know the tank that you haven't done. Which is Dark Knight. So Paladin, Warrior, Dark Knight, Gunbreaker. Your 4 tanks. I always forget about Gunbreaker, but it is a tank. Then you've got melee DPS, which is Samurai, Monk, Ninja, Dragoon, Viper, Reaper, I think that's all the melee DPS. Yeah, because those ones start from level 1. So, Monk and Ninja start at level 1. So they take a little bit longer than the other ones. Then you got your casters, you got your Black Mage, Summoner, Pictomancer, Red Mage. I honestly think you'll be surprised how quickly you level up from 1 to 30. Especially if you have all the the items that help you level. If you got the pre-order earring, that helps a lot. If you got the ring from the tutorial hall or whatever it's called, I can't remember what it's called. Hall of the Novice, that's it. If you got the ring from there, that helps a lot. Well, the ring is super easy to get. All you have to do is run through the Hall of the Novice stuff. Just whatever role it is, you just once you hit, I think it's once you hit level 10 you can do it, but you can do it on another job that you already have maxed out. Just complete the Hall of the Novice on any one job, and they will give you a ring that will give you an experience boost up to level 30. And then if you complete the advanced course, they give you another item that takes you all the way up to level 60. There is also an item you can get called the Friendship Circlet. that works for the first 10 levels. You get it for, I think it's like only one person is to sign up using your referral code for Final Fantasy 14. And you get the friendship circlet. Or you can get the friendship circlet. No, they just give it to you. That's right. They just give it to you. It's like a extra boost up until level 10. And all those experience buffs stack. So, if you have somebody who you want to play Final Fantasy 14, give them your referral code and say, hey, it's on sale right now. Because it is. I think it's still on sale. All they have to do, I think all they have to do is sign up and sign up and play the game. And you'll get a Mog mail that's got the friendship circlet in it. And then just make sure you got food. And all of that stuff will help you level up from 1 to 30 pretty quickly. And then once you hit 30, I mean, Palace of the Dead is a super quick way to level up. It's about level 50. You get experience for every 10 floors you clear. If you don't want to do that, I mean, run in Rulies. You can also run your company squadron missions if you haven't done that. Duty support. I mean, a lot of that stuff will get you through the first 10 levels pretty quickly. Or for the first 30 level, or for the first 50 or 60 levels pretty quickly. But it really just depends on how you want to do it. And once you hit level 71, I think honestly the easiest way to level up from 71 and onwards is just the Boston Southern Front. Yeah, if you just do Bosja after 71, you get a lot of experience, and then that'll take you up. I think that can take you all the way up to 90, actually. Then once you hit 90, Dawn Trail content, of course, is going to be what you have to do. But we're about to get a deep dungeon for that, too, so that'll be more experience that you can grind after level 91. So. Or we already have it, so I think that came out in the new patch, actually. Sorry, I was just checking something on the other goblin. I painted her like she wasn't wearing a glove, and this one I painted like she is wearing a glove. So, you know what? This one's wearing a glove. Good for her. Gobbo number 2. Yeah, it does seem like a lot. It's funny you say that. I was thinking about doing, just because, you know, I'm looking for other stuff to stream besides just me painting. I like the painting. I was thinking about doing a 1 to 100 thing on in Final Fantasy on here, just to see how long it takes. Start a new character, go from 1 to 100. But I mean, like, MSQ is pretty much all that you do from 1 to 100. So I don't know. That might just be boring for people. I am curious as to how long it would take a new player to get from level 1 to 100 doing the MSQ. I don't know how long the MSQ takes now. It's been so long since I've done it. And they've even shortened it a little bit, so... Add some more water to the old wet palette soon. But we're almost done with our light brown. Didn't paint this one's knees either. Gosh, I just got lazy sometimes, guys. I did her toes, just didn't do her legs. Alright, well, I guess this one's wearing pants too. I think you paint so many of these models, eventually you make mistakes just because you're painting so many in a row and you think to yourself, well, I already did that, you know? And you don't even look at the model because you just think to yourself, oh, I did that already. Well, you did it on another one. It looks exactly the same, but, you know. Not that one. So I think it's really easy to confuse yourself. excuse and I'm sticking to it. Mea culpa. Oh man, oh man. I've only been going for an hour and a half, but feels like longer. Alrighty. That's it for the bomb throwers. Now we just have the Goblin Witch Warlock. She doesn't have a whole lot of this color on her. I'm just going to do her wristbands. Yeah, A Realm Reborn, I think it has the unfortunate position of a lot of people say that it's not good. I like A Realm Reborn, but that's just because I have nostalgia for it. Because it's the first thing I ever played in Final Fantasy 14, and it got me kind of hooked because it was just such a nice story, nice linear story, which was not what I was used to in MMOs. I really enjoyed that, and honestly, I didn't mind how cheesy it was, but a lot of people think it's cheesy. They think that it's, the voice acting is not good, and they may be right a little bit, but that's beside the point. It's still fun. It's not bad. It also has the most story quests of any other game, I believe. I might be talking out both sides of my head on that one, but it does have a lot. But that's because, they didn't know if they were getting another expansion or not, because 14 was in such a bad place when A Realm Reborn was released. They were just, happy it got the response that it got. And then Heaven's Word came along, and they were like, all right, well, we got something here. Righty. Well, she's done. Okay, so that is all the boots and pants and gloves on all these guys. So now I need to do their handles of their weapons and the boomerangs, like whole color deal. So that is gonna be, where are you? There you are. Actually, we'll do them a darker wooden color, because we can always do that. Where is it? Shuffling through the colors on my desk. Here we go. We're gonna use Ancient Forest. Sort of a less saturated brown. Gonna use this for the handles of the weapons and the boomerangs themselves. There's not gonna be a ton of this color on here. It's not gonna be a very exciting color. Fortunately for all of you. But it will go quick. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. First ones aren't that good, and then it gets more refined. But like, I don't know how to explain 1.0 14. I never played it, but I did watch a bunch of videos of people playing 1.0. For some reason, when they made the 1.0 version of Final Fantasy 14, they said, hey, you know what all those popular MMOs that everybody's playing are doing? Yeah, we're not going to do that. The systems were incredibly clunky. The battle system is nothing like what we have today. You couldn't even ride chocobos. The zones were all very samey. With very little character to them. battle system was all menus. Didn't really have a hot bar. It was a mess. It was a mess. Also, at the beginning of its inception, the game had a fatigue meter for your experience. So what that meant was, after you spent a certain amount of time leveling a job, you started to accumulate fatigue. And what that meant was you would take a debuff to the amount of experience that you received for that particular job, until you logged off and logged back in for the day. So it was like a super long cooldown. It was supposed to be anti-grind, but yeah. There were quests, but the vast majority of your leveling and doing stuff came from leaves. It was wild, man. Wild style. And it was also, I mean, they were swinging for the fences, man. They were trying their hardest to make it a really unique experience, but in the end, it didn't really pan out the way they wanted it to, because they had a bunch of they had a bunch of different teams working with each other, and people weren't really communicating. So there was a lot of disparity of quality between different aspects of the game. And in the end, it just created this glitchy, buggy product that just wasn't fun to play. Yeah, I wish I would have stuck with it, honestly, Irish. Because I played when A Realm Reborn came out, because I was interested in 14 when the first version came out, because I love Final Fantasy just in general. And I was going to play the initial version of Final Fantasy 14. I was playing World of Warcraft at the time as well, but I like MMOs in general, and I was like, I'm thinking about getting this game, I want to play it, so I watched some videos of it, and almost everybody was saying the same thing, which was 14 is bad, it's not good, do not get it until they fix the game. And I was like, okay, well, I'll wait and see what it's like when they fix it, Little did I know, if I would have played 14 when it initially came out, I would have gotten a really nifty little tattoo on my character and my name in the credits. If I would have just played with it and stuck with it, But I didn't, so I didn't get any of that. But when A Realm Reborn came out, I was like, ooh, this looks really good. So I played it, got to max level on one job, which was Paladin. That was the first job that I got to max level on. And then once I did that, I was in the post game, and I had a bunch of friends who were still playing World of Warcraft, and they wanted me to raid with them. And I was like, well, I can only really afford to play one subscription-based MMO for a very long time. And I have friends who play World of Warcraft. As much as I like 14, I don't have any friends who play 14, and I don't know anything about the raiding scene here, so I'll just go play World of Warcraft. That's what I did. I dropped my sub, and I didn't play again until COVID. COVID rolled around, and I was like, I was playing Final Fantasy 9, and I was playing World of Warcraft, but World of Warcraft was starting to not be that fun to me. And I was starting to really like Classic. I was playing Classic WoW, I believe, or I was playing a classic server, which was like a independent thing that they've since shut down. But I was like playing Final Fantasy 9, and I was thinking to myself, I really just want an MMO Final Fantasy. And I was like, wait, there is one. I just haven't played it in years. So I dusted off my old account, started a brand new character from scratch because I was like, I don't remember a thing about this game. And that new character was Felix Sunblade, and I've been playing ever since. Haven't dropped my sub since I resubscribed in 2020. Had a lot of free time. For some reason. Yeah, that's the lore. It's the deep lore. I still have my first character. I haven't played him in a long time, but I still have him. I think he's still where I left him, which was at the Leviathan fight. Because I hopped on him for a little while after I came back, but I had no idea how to tank, and tank was the only job that I had maxed out, so I had no idea what to do. I think the other ones don't have any wood on them. I wonder about her. Yeah, she's got like a handle on her dagger question mark blade. Okay, that's all the wooden handles. Now I think we can do the base coat of the individual characters, like colors. So this will just do like the first baseline, and then we'll do the first baseline on one, and then the next, and the next, and the next, and the next. So we'll do red first. And for this, we're gonna start off with Berserker Red. Whoops. Sorry. $2021. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, the name of the red is great. And it's a very pretty dark red. I love this color, honestly. And it makes for a great base red to like build up off of. But I mean, just look at this. Yeah, I was super excited because when I got back into Final Fantasy 14, I knew that they had expansions. I didn't know how many they had, but it was they were up to Shadowbringers when I got back in. Endwalker released shortly after I got back into Final Fantasy. I was very excited for Endwalker when it released, because at that point I was fully invested. Also, his little loincloth is going to be red. Yeah, it's a really good red. I think I got all the spots that are supposed to be red. I got red on it. Oh, a little bit here. All right. That's red 1. These guys, nice. Their color is going to be on their loincloths as well. They're also going to have red on their little shoulder pad here in the middle. The trim is already the dark brown. Thank you. And for this last, she's going to have red on her dress. She also have red on her hat. Yeah, the base color really just kind of like brings the rest of the model to life, or I should say the accent color. Because you really start to see it come together. Alrighty. Here's the dark red on her. Wit lady. Alright. Now, Boomer Boy. Roy decided the first thing was going to be red is this eye patch bandana belt thing. Kilt situation going on. Think of anything else is going to be red on him. Also, I guess his shoulder armor here. That can be red. Why not? Okay. That's Boomer Boy. The wild ones will be red, but not much red on here. Just on this cloth in the front and back. all the blue or the red on her. One of these bomber gals is also red. She's got like a cloth shirt or something going on up here, I think. I mean, she might be a goblin, but she's gonna be, Hey, Robbie! All good, man! Welcome on in. We're hanging out. I was streaming late too, man. I've had a busy day. Alright, I think that's all the red, guys. Unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to it for now. But you know what? It's never forever. We'll be back to it. Alright, next we're gonna do blue. Work is going good. We're progressing. We got all the light brown done, and we got all the wooden bits done. Now we are working on our accent colors. So we did all the red ones. We did the shadow tones for the red ones. Now we're doing the blue. So we're using Cold Corpse Blue as our shade tone for these. This is a very dark blue. Blue is almost gray. I'm gonna add a little bit more water to the old wet palette. How much longer? Probably another. I'd say probably another 20-30 minutes at least. I mean, I've still got to do the rest of the accent colors here, so it'll probably take me a little bit. I might work on something else then. I got 45 plus. Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, I mean, I've been up for I've been going for 2 hours and 20 minutes so far. So I've been painting for almost 3 hours. I say almost 3 hours. I've been painting for 2 hours and 20 minutes. Do whatever you want to, man. We've made some good progress tonight. Six jobs left. That's great. Awesome. Yeah, Robbie, we've been talking a lot about Final Fantasy tonight. I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy recently. It's hooked me again, which is something that I fully expected to happen. Because I was just a little disappointed with Occult Crescent, but the pull has inevitably claimed me again. I didn't know you played Final Fantasy XIV, Robbie. Oh, you haven't been subbed to it. Oh, I see. Dawntrow's kind of a mixed bag for people. There are a lot of people who love it and a lot of people who hate it. I'm kind of agnostic about it. I like aspects of it. There are parts of it I don't like. I think that there are things that they could have done with the narrative that were that I would have appreciated more. I won't spoil anything. Yeah, I understand that. No, I definitely get that. I get the time thing. Yeah, but I won't spoil anything for it since you haven't played it. I enjoy some of the aspects of the expansion a little bit more than others, I think. I enjoy all of the battle content. I think that all of the encounters in the dungeons and the raids, I think all of that's been great. An ad. Thank you for the money. Okay, what I was gonna say is I won't spoil anything in the expansion because you haven't played it. But I think there's a lot of stuff they could have done with the story that they didn't do. And they could have and they should have done. As it stands, I feel like it was a little weak in a lot of places. And it's not because of like anything like characters and stuff like that. I thought all the characters are fine. I just think that I think that the direction that they took it wasn't really as like deep as what we come to expect, especially after like Endwalker. We'll put it that way. The big thing that people hate is Wooklamot, and I do not hate Wooklamot. I like her as a character, believe it or not. I think that they didn't do. I don't think they did a very good job of characterizing her, but I think her as a character is perfectly fine. But the battle content has been top notch. Yeah, exactly. Coming off of Endwalker is really hard to top that. I mean, there's no way that they were going to. So I don't think that I don't really think it's a fair comparison. I won't, like I said, I won't spoil anything for it. One of the things I'll say is, and Irish, you'll get this. At one point in the story, like, okay, lurk away. At one point in the story, after you finish, like, what is like the first half of the expansion, and you cross over into this new area, and it feels like they did absolutely nothing with it. It feels like it was a little bit of an afterthought, and that makes me sad. I was really interested in that particular area that they were talking about. And also, I was looking forward to some more Blue Mage lore, because I love Blue Mage. It's like my favorite job. How do I how do I do this without spoiling? Well, I'll just tell you the name of the zone, because you're not gonna know what I'm talking about, Robbie. Shalawani. Once you cross the bridge. Yeah, that one. I felt like they didn't do nearly enough with it. I was super excited to see it, and just got nothing. I would have liked it if they actually let us, like, gave us a purpose for being there. Instead, they made it feel like a filler arc for an anime. So that is one thing I will say. Yeah, it's like it was a filler arc. And this isn't necessarily a bad thing, so take with it what you will. I feel like a lot of the writing for this most recent expansion uh feels like a lot of it is very anime coded. Yeah. And I don't mean that as an insult to anime. I don't mean that as an insult to the writing team. But I mean, it felt very anime. And a lot of that is to say that it felt a little episodic. Yeah, I mean, there's good stuff in there. I mean, there is some of that, Robbie. It's mostly like it feels like we barely get to like dip our toes into this culture. And one of the things that they touted for this whole expansion was like, oh, you're going to go to this whole new continent and experience all these different cultures. And you know, the whole first half of the game is pretty much about learning and understanding these cultures. And it felt to me like a little bit like you get to understand the basics of this culture. So, yeah. But I thought all of the combat was great. I like the characters. I like the post expansion stuff, like the content after the initial MSQ is done. I also liked everything in the latter half of the game, but it felt like the first half of the story of the MSQ was like inconsequential to a point. Because after you get through with it, it feels a little like, okay, what did I do all that for? So, that's just me. Oh yeah, the raids have been fantastic, and the dungeons have been great. Oh my gosh, the I've loved the Alliance raid in particular. It actually made me go play Final Fantasy 11 because the Alliance raid for this expansion is a Final Fantasy 11 crossover. I actually really enjoyed Final Fantasy XI as well. It is definitely an older MMO. It is not for the faint of heart, but I enjoyed my time with it. I probably will go back to it eventually. Yeah, it's going to be it for the blue on the Boomer Boy. Alright. Last, we've got the bomb. Oh, wait, nope. I gotta do the wild one. Almost forgot about her cloth here in the front. But Robbie, if you ever hop back on Final Fantasy, let me know. Yes, please, and we could do some content together. Irish plays as well. Okay. And the last blue is going to be this gal here. And do the game into the Final Fantasy. I don't know why I'm always surprised to find Final Fantasy players in the wild. I guess it is the second most popular MMO now. I guess WoW still technically beats it out, but you know. I still play World of Warcraft, just barely though. I think it's mostly for nostalgia's sake. I'll probably cancel my sub soon, just because I haven't played it in a while. I haven't really had the hankering to. That's money I could put elsewhere to another MMO. Yeah, it's one of those things. Like even when, like the longest break that I took from the game, of like playing consistently was after my son was born. I got on very sparingly during that time, but I got lucky because it was during the like sort of like the negative sphere of like, you know, we were in between expansions, so there wasn't a whole lot going on. I logged on for like seasonal events and stuff like that, but that was about it. Okay, next is gonna be yellow, so that's gonna be a fun one to do. Need my base yellow, whatever that's gonna be. I may need to go get a separate paint for that because I don't think I have a good dark yellow anymore. You tried to play Final Fantasy again, or did you try to play WoW again? I don't know which one you responded to. That's not it. I'm trying to find my yellow. Okay. Everland Sunset. Little belly stream for you there. Alright, let's see how this one works. Yellow is a tricky color sometimes. We might do Irish. We do need to pick that back up again. I will say that. I'll have to ask Travis and Alec. I'm down. I I mean, we want to play actual D&D together again, so there's that too. Yeah. Yeah, Travis is the one that really has to. We have to work around his schedule. He's the busiest one. He's gotta make all them dice with dice. Weird sort of like little growth there. I think it's just a little plastic snag, but I don't paint a whole lot of yellow, so this has been really interesting seeing how this works. But this has not been too bad. May end up needing to darken it a little bit with a shade or something. Just because this yellow is so bright. Yeah. It's just we need a place to work up from, you know. And when your yellow is so bright and sunny like this one, it's hard to work up from it. Kind of like how much brighter can it get, you know? It will darken up when it dries, so there's that as well. We'll see exactly what it looks like when everything's all dried. Definitely need to apply multiple thin coats. The coverage on this ain't fantastic. As you can still see, there's like little bits coming through, little bits of black coming through. Alright, I'm gonna let this sit for a second. Let's move on to the next one. Just started another honor run with your boyfriend and you're trying sorcerer for the first time? Feels squishy? Yeah, sorcerers are really squishy. So are most spellcasters. Just gotta hide between the people who are meaty. Let them take all the punches. What kind of sorcerer are you? Draconic. Ooh, fun. Yeah, and with the draconic sorcerers, you get all like you can get like the little scales and stuff on you. A woodland half-elf draconic sorcerer. That's awesome. Yep, like that combo. I like a. I like a good half wood elf character. My first playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3 was a half wood elf monk. It was a lot of fun. Monks are fun. Yeah. You get to just hop around and do dope monk shit. Your very own Bo from Mighty Nine. Yeah. I gotta finish campaign 3. I've been watching the abridged versions on YouTube. It's been good for me to get the story and not have to sit through ad reads or hemming and hawing over combat or ended shopping sessions. You know, the things that they tend to do on Critical Role. Okay. Thank you, Robbie. So this, I did this to illustrate a point. So you see, this is the problem that you get with a lot of yellow paints. I've painted this whole thing yellow, but there's still a lot of black showing through. I'm gonna have to paint all of it over again with yellow in order to get it to actually look yellow, because that's just the way yellow pigment is sometimes. Whereas you compare that to like the red, this is pretty much only one coat of red. Yellow paint is notorious for doing that. So I'm gonna try something. Painted all this yellow, and even this one, which I've done multiple coats on, you still see a lot of that black showing through. Yeah. So I'm gonna try something. It's a little bit of an experiment. We'll see if it works. I have here a yellow contrast paint, which I could have used right from the bat if I had Zenithal Prime these guys, but I didn't want to do that. So, ooh, gosh, it's partially open. Getting yellow paint everywhere. It's a good thing I don't wear the shirt that often. Just got yellow all over it. That's why I love Citadel paint pots. Sometimes they don't close all the way. So this is a very pigment rich, very watery paint. Its intended use is for speed painting models. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint this over the yellow and see if it will save it. Now I look all jaundiced because I got yellow paint all over me. This is mostly just to see if this will dry and be yellow like I want it to. But I don't know if this is going to work how I want it to. We'll find out. I am going to err on the possibility of probably not. Just by what I'm seeing right now. I may have to go to the store and buy a darker, better yellow paint. I would need to darken this up anyway. But if I can get the yellow to look nice, that would go a long way towards it. Honestly, but this paint's so thin. I mean, it's not intended to go over a dark surface anyway. Yeah. It's not really doing what I want it to. You can still see a lot of it in the recesses, or you still see a lot of the paint showing through. So, yeah, it's not really doing anything except for getting on my shirt and messing things up. But, oh well, we tried. Yellow I knew was going to be a problem. So I don't think I'm going to get what I need, or I'm not going to get the shade that I need with that yellow anyway. Because, I mean, just, like, look at it. It's so spotty. I'd have to do so many coats of it to get it to like, you know, to not show through the black. So tomorrow I'm gonna run. I need to run some errands and things anyway. So tomorrow I'm going to pick up some better yellow paint. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for tonight. We have been going for roughly 3 hours, or a little over 3 hours, 3 hours and 9 minutes. Moving everybody in real time. Oh. So I think that I'm probably going to call the stream there, but I hope that everybody who popped in have fun. I enjoyed getting the painting done. Yeah, I mean, this is it. This is what I do. Want to paint. But thanks for hanging out, guys. Whoop. Fixing my camera live on stream. If I had 2 cameras, that would be nice. But I don't. But I hope that everybody had fun. Let's see. Is there someone that we can raid? Alright, let's check. Let's look. Moose Bones, but he's playing Monster Rancher. Let's check. Let's check if anybody's painting minis tonight. Wiki Mins. Let's look at the category. Okay. Got some folks painting some Warhams. People building Gunpla. This guy's Painting up a custom Space Marine character. Let's see. I'll check out his stream real quick. We have an ad. We have an ad. Let's see. All right. This is what we got. This is what we're working with here. So yeah, I think we'll hop on over there. Their little raid. They're painting up a custom Space Marine character.
On the shelf in front of me.
Oh, got a little orc there. Oh. Very interesting. All right. Well, we will we'll raid this gentleman here. Ivory Spider. So.
Nope. They are just primed and zenithaled at the moment.
There's the raid message.
They're not my orcs.
There's
They're
the
my girlfriend's orcs. She has not gotten around to painting them yet.
the sub raid message. I think that one works. Should do. Yeah, I think that one works. Yeah, it works. Yeah, excellent. Cool. All right. So we're going to hop on over there and yeah. Thanks for hanging out. This should be cool.
I feel like I might have ripped off too small of a piece
And
of
yeah.
sponge.
See you over there.